On this edition of Phoenix News, we go behind the scenes of DTSOI's latest play, The Outsiders. Find a hidden gem in the teacher parking lot and spotlight a creative twist in the art program. All this and more.
Welcome back to Phoenix News. I'm Chance Ferrucci.
And I'm Logan Fogg. Chance, are you ready for summer break?
I can't wait. I have a bunch of plans to hang out with friends and go on family road trips. After all these cold days, I've never been more ready for warm weather and going outside.
Me too. Speaking of outside, have you seen DTSOI's latest play, The Outsiders?
I have. It was incredible. All acting was great, but you know, sometimes the best performances aren't on stage.
I agree. There was so much time, work, and effort that went into making The Outsiders. Let's go inside The Outsiders to see that all that went into making this amazing play.
The performances the DTSOI theater program put on are visually amazing and truly bring you into a world of adventure. But this would not be possible without the incredible sets. So let's talk to those who build the sets and truly get inside their minds.
I go by Mr. Biazzo, and I'm the technical director for the Don Tyson School of Innovation, Pat Ellison Performing Arts Center. Price of each set kind of varies depending on the play or depending on how much time we have in the space. All the variables are going to change how the set is designed. So you might have a really big set, or you might have a really small set. Typically we spend about $1,000 total on having to get paint and any extra lumber. We reuse lumber. Like I think our first show we ever did here was $3,000 because we didn't have any lumber, but since we get to keep all that, we don't have to spend that much, going forward each show.
I like to help build set because it's a great community, as well as the fact that it teaches me a lot of things about building and things that could potentially be useful in my future. I'm small, so I get under stuff and screw stuff in, or unscrew stuff. That's my favorite part. Ow! Get in there! Oh!
So it always starts with the script. So Mr. Cohey, our director, and the students kind of have an idea of what shows we want to do, and then once it's finalized, I get a script, and the first thing is to read it, to talk to the director, and start to figure out what are all the themes of the show, what are we trying to showcase, and then basically it starts with a sketch. After that conversation, I start to get an initial idea. So we sketch it out, either me or I have a couple students that also do scenic design. So we'll start with a sketch. That's just to get your idea first out, and then we can talk about it. And then the next step is I usually do a physical model. So typically just cardboard. And then I can figure it out in 3D space until I have something that I like. Then it goes back again. I talk to the director and I talk to my assistant scenic designers, and it's just a conversation until we all decide like, this is great. And we go through the whole script and does it work for the whole show? And then we have a design.
Thanks to Bratcher and his team for giving us a peek behind the curtains.
And a big shout out to Mr. Cohey and Mr. Biazzo. The theater students who made it possible were incredible.
Our school has some great performances, but not every pathway gets a chance to debut on the PAC stage.
That's right. I heard the engineering program has been busy with some amazing projects recently. Let's take a moment to appreciate their work.
I'm Mr. Kelly, Ryan Kelly. This is my 5th year here. Engineering 1, which used to be called Introduction to Engineering Design. I teach Engineering 2, which has been called Principles of Engineering. I teach Civil Engineering and Architecture, and I also teach 9th grade Physical Science. For my design projects that I do mostly in Engineering 1, but also some in Engineering 2 and Civil Engineering, I give quite a bit. For instance, we just finished up a project where students had to build a gadget. So I let students do anything that was school appropriate, that seemed reasonable, that could be done in the given amount of time in complexity. I would say mostly I am, depending on the class, like my Engineering 1 class or Engineering Design class, I'm pretty hands-off on purpose because of kind of, you asked about flexibility and creativity. Since it's a design class, if I follow too closely and keep pushing, then usually the results that come are kind of just what I dictated and not what students were trying to do on their own. So I let students kind of do their own thing, come up with their own ideas, because it is a design class, so the point's not for everybody to end up with the same result, it's for everybody to have something unique at the end of each project.
Thanks to Brooklyn and Ian, as well as Mr. Kelly, for letting us see what goes on in one of DTSOI's most innovative pathways.
Hey Logan, you park in the school parking lot, right?
I do, why?
Well, recently I've heard a lot of buzz about this sick vehicle driving around.
Oh, you mean Mr. Bishop. Let's hand it over to C.T. Hickman and Shannon Woolbright to explore Mr. Bishop's memorable ride and the story behind it.
My name is Jesse Bishop. I'm the diesel instructor at DTSOI. My parents bought this truck for me in 2004 when I was 14 years old. Favorite thing about my truck is the uniqueness of it. It's not the typical, was not the typical high school truck back when I was in high school, and it's still very not common today. Since the first time we bought it and drove it home, it looks the exact same other than the wheels and tires, but it's had 4 different engines, 3 different transmissions. Growing up, we weren't as well off as most people were, so we couldn't afford to take our vehicles to get worked on, so my dad was always working on everything around the house, especially vehicles, and my dad was definitely the major influence on my life as far as working on vehicles and being into cars. Everything's for sale for the right price, but not only would you have to buy the truck, you'd have to buy the sentimental value that's attached to it.
Thanks to CT and Shannon for driving us around Mr. Bishop's and his truck's life together.
There's something special about the connection between people and their vehicles and their technology.
That reminds me, didn't DTSOI's programming pathway just take a home second place in a major competition?
They did. From screens to skills, let's dive into that achievement and how coding at DTSOI is making a huge impact.
Recently, DTSOI seniors participated in a University of Arkansas coding competition and got second place. Let's hear about their beginning and end and what they have to say to upcoming coders.
Coding for a while now, I'd say this has definitely improved my confidence in coding because I've never actually competed in coding. This is my first time doing that, so as a new experience, I think it helped a lot with my confidence in programming.
It's a great feeling just to see these guys putting everything in the competition, everything that they have learned throughout the years, and just putting it in one place. That's pretty rewarding.
I'd say absolutely get involved in it. As we see on the news and other things, it's a growing field, whether that's with AI intelligence or just computing, and I think it's definitely something that's great to go into.
To be proficient at it, to get really good at it or get into the field, you need to have a lot of resilience and be a good problem solver and want to solve problems.
One of our colleagues, one teacher in the district, she was taking some students to the competition, and she shared the information, and I shared that with some students, and they just jumped in
at the end all be all. We didn't get first, but that was perfectly all right. It was a great experience for us, and it was just more so the matter of us being able to hang out, especially in our senior year when we won't have those opportunities after high school going into college.
For the students that we will hope for to get to the competitions, those that enjoy new challenges, enjoy problem solving, and also enjoy coding.
I'd say that in general, we really came out and did what we wanted to do, which was to just have a lot of fun.
There's really so much innovation that goes behind the scenes across DTSOI's many pathways. It's gotten hard to recognize every student's accomplishments.
I agree, but did you hear what Miss Dannenhauer has been doing to recognize her students' creative achievements in the art pathway?
Hanging student art in the halls?
Well, yes, but I also heard there's an art vending machine.
An art vending machine? Like instead of snacks?
Exactly. Instead of serving food, this vending machine has been satisfying student hunger for creativity.
My name is Audrey Dannenhauer. This vending machine was an idea based on an artist named Alan Capro, and you can look up his work. He's pretty imaginative and a lot of conceptual art. What I'd really like for you guys to think about, like when we think about the vending machine, is how the students who are putting their art pieces in the vending machine are then giving other students opportunity to see their work, and it's all facilitated through a vending machine. So. Giving my students agency and letting them know like how they can be an action in our community and how that they can use their art as a communication tool for those particular ideas that they maybe want to share with others. Something like social justice idea, or maybe it's something environmentally conscious idea, or something about like recycling waste. How are we beautifying the community? So being able to give them the tools to be able to produce art is the most important thing.
Thanks, Joel, for showcasing an unexpected yet fascinating innovation in DTSOI's art program.
That's all for now, but stay tuned for Phoenix News' last episode of the 2024-2025 school year.
See you on the next one.